Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Right here in front of us is a really cool device. This is a wood moisture meter. Really good for leak detection. If you're working on wood projects, finding out if it needs to dry more, many different uses and potential cases that you might use it for. In the description box below, just like all my videos, will be this exact same wood moisture meter where you guys can pick one up yourself, read more about it. Without further ado, let's get it out. We're going to be putting it through the ringer, testing it out. It does come with a battery. I also recommend looking over the instruction manual as well. Let's go ahead and pull this out and see what we have right here. So we got our mode button. Looks like we have a flashlight button as well, hold button, our power button, and on the back it actually looks like it has soft pads so you could even run it over your drywall as well if you have an internal leak. So we're going to show you some different examples in this video. Alrighty, so it is registering obviously because it is raining outside and my hands do get a little bit moist sometimes when I am holding different things. They're not completely dry. So let's see what happens when I go to touch the back of it here. Sensor back here. So I'm going to go ahead and touch the back of it right here. And as we can see there, very sensitive because my hands are not sweating. They're very slightly moist, but putting it back there. So you have your light ups right here, green, yellow, and red. With your percentage symbol around here, it's really nice as well. We're detecting on a wall right now. We go down to clicking over to softwood, clicking over to hardwood, and back to wall. You got different modes. You have a very small flashlight, LED light right here that might come in handy for you. And then with your side kind of grippies, and it's designed pretty much like a stud detector. All right, let's do some testing with this thing. So as you can see here in my shower, I have no access point to the middle of the wall where the PEX piping goes up. And obviously this is tile, waterproofed, cement board, etc., but I'm just going to show you an example here. So the previous owner actually had a hole cut out in this side of the wall. This is a full remodel. And so just out of curiosity here, I'm going to go ahead and show you here. So this will be a really good example for if you do have a situation like this before you start tearing down tiles. And right here, we're at 3% moisture level. Let's come down. We're at 4% right here, 3%. I think that's typically about normal for moisture. Yeah, it's all registering about 3%, 2.5%, ballpark, somewhere right around there. If you think you potentially have drywall damage from a leak in your window, let's see here, we're getting up to about 5% right here underneath the window. I did have the windows open last night, so maybe a little couple drops hit the windowsill, 2% there. So that's another great feature just in case. If you are having leaks, let's put it right over here. We're at 2%, and so we're looking pretty good. I'll keep my eye on that 5%. That was actually a little bit more than I'd like to see. 4%. 3%. I'm not picking the 5% back up again. Now this is another great way here. Let me start it off on soft wood because this is butcher's block, and then we'll go over and switch over to hardwood if this doesn't register properly here. So this was a project I did. I'm just wood gluing it down since yesterday, curing it. Didn't have the proper clamp, so weights work. Anywho, I did 3 coats of polyacrylic. Again, this is butcher's block. It's kind of a soft wood here. It's showing dry at 11.8%. So my 4% on my drywall is totally dry. So we're looking absolutely fantastic there. Let's go ahead and switch it over to hardwood just in case. And it's looking at 7.8%. 8% going over to softwood at 11.8. Let's go over here to this side here at 12.7. Coming in at dry. And it is dry, obviously. So definitely nice for wood projects, especially if you're going to be doing live edge work. You might want to bring this to the wood yard. And typically you can tell, especially at Home Depot and Lowe's, if they're heavy, 2x6s, 2x4s, they're wet, they haven't dried, just prevents cracking if you get it fully dried. One little con about it though is that if you have direct sunlight or anything like that, it is really hard to see with the naked eye. We're getting a beep, and that is coming in at wet. Now this was sitting out in the rain all night, so this is a good example. I switched over to hardwood, and this is my work table, and it's coming in as wet, and it is actually beeping. I can very feel, I mean, the slightest dampness, like not even damp, but you can just feel that there's like, it's almost like if your palms were sweating just a little bit, just very little moisture. But this thing is picking it up, and it's actually beeping, and sorry, it just is not being able to get the screen. I can't even see the screen with my naked eye. And see, as I lift it off, it stops beeping. But I'm gonna see if I can find out what that percentage is. Okay, here we go. We're looking at 30. It's coming in at 35%. And again, I'm sorry, just the camera's not gonna be able to pick that up. And my indicators, there we go. My indicators are all the way up there to third to the last setting. As we're looking, there we go, they're 35% or so. So I am going to be doing a fresh deck as well, but let's say you were resurfacing, restaining, and you needed to wait till it fully dries before you did it. This is also another good option as well. Okay, and like another reviewer has stated, I haven't used it very much, and it does eat up the 9-volt batteries, so just be prepared for that. Get yourself some good 9 volts after the one that it includes dies on you. Get yourself some nice high-powered 9 volts, because that battery's already 50%, and I haven't used it very much. Okay, let's take a look at masonry. Obviously, we can see that it is damp from last night, but let's go ahead and take a look at our little meter here. It's on 0. We've switched it over to masonry, and we are at 47.7%, and she's beeping again. So obviously, we can tell from wet to drier right here. Let's switch over to this one, and we're at 47.9%. So as you can tell there, works on the woods and walls. Now, last one example I want to show you here is we had some bad hail damage, and let me go ahead and show you right over here. It was about a little over a month ago, and hail just nailed this wall right here. So I'm actually getting the siding busted up, and I'm actually being able to see right through my siding, which is not good. So this does need to be fixed. As you can tell here, probably the sprinklers doesn't do justice either. So as you can see, the siding is just literally falling and decaying. Now, the previous owner put in a really high-end vapor barrier right here, which is absolutely fantastic. Being able to keep water from penetrating through, which either a vapor barrier or maybe this was the original house wrap from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whenever this addition was built on the house. But I'm curious to see if the inside drywall has been damaged. So let's go back inside and do a couple tests on the interior to see if I have drywall damage. Okay, please forgive the dirty, ripped off wallpaper. I'm in a full remodel, but let's get right down to business. Now, obviously inside, you can see that screen so much better. With that direct light, it is a little trickier. Okay, I'm switching back over to wall, and my battery percentage actually went up now, so kind of strange. This is exactly where we were looking outside, right here in the corner, and I'm only at 1%. That is awesome. So whatever house wrap that is doing absolutely phenomenal. So the issue with the screen is you have to look at it dead on. With the naked eye, I can see it a little bit better like that, but it's just kind of with the camera and the light. But inside, the screen does work a lot better. Okay, so I'm very impressed. And don't forget about your flashlight in the back as well. It's a very minor one. Let me turn this one off, as we can see there. But it's registering the same as my room at 1%, even less. 2%, 2%, 1.2%. I really like it. That's what you want to see, especially if you have damage outside like that. So I don't have any mold issues. Okay, the last one is, again, sorry for the remodel. I got stuff everywhere. I had another hole right back over here. I'm at 2%, 1%, 2%. Okay, so whatever the previous owner, whatever that plastic vapor barrier house wrap is, has done a great job. So my sheetrock on the interior doesn't look affected. Wallpaper needs to come down, that's for sure though. Well, folks, overall, I think it's a really cool little device to definitely check moisture and to find a leak, whatever that might be, many different options for it. Once again, in the description box right below the video is going to be this exact same moisture meter where you guys can grab it and read more about it and see what other people are saying about it. If you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button on your way out, helps the channel and the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, house remodel videos, DIY van life builds, and more. But just like all my videos, please don't go into debt for anything that I'm making videos about. But if you do have the cash and it does intrigue you, go ahead and purchase on away. Once again, your link is below. We'll see you on the next one. Don't let the party stop, guys. Hit one of these videos, continue to watch, and we'll see you soon.